crazy. Look at these high school tapes, man.
Nobody
it's
brings
crazy,
the energy for You Got Moss quite like Rex Ryan. I wanted
another wedding, man. We haven't had a wedding. I still think that lady's still available. I still think she's available.
We're gonna get back to football. You probably have no idea what Rex is talking about right now. So meanwhile, not far from here at MetLife, Giants get their starting QB back. Cardinals trying to get their season back on track. Look, both of these teams seem to be heading in opposite directions, especially when you look at their playoff chances. Following Week 8, Arizona had a 71% chance to reach the playoffs, while the Giants were only at 2%. But with the Giants winning 4 straight, New York enters today's game with a 59% chance to make the playoffs, considerably higher than the Cards. Our Kimberly Martin knows all about it. She's at MetLife this morning. Good morning, Kimberly.
Good morning, Sam. Yeah, good news for the Giants. They're expected to have Daniel Jones on the field today, which is great. One teammate told me this week Daniel was working around the clock to make sure he'd be on the field because he's the type of guy who would play on one leg if he needed to for this team. The Giants, as you said, trying to keep the momentum going. The Cardinals looking to snap that 3-game losing streak. And QB Kyler Murray even bristled a little bit this week when asked about his throwing shoulder and the state of this offense. For his shoulder, Murray said, "It's fine." That's good news because today he'll face a top 10 Giants defense that's been really good against the run. And one reason for the Giants' turnaround is their defensive coordinator, Patrick Graham, who is garnering a lot of head coaching interest for good reason. His players love the fact that he schemes up plays with them in mind. And even defensive leader Logan Ryan told me there's a reason so many guys are having a really good season. And some, like Leonard Williams, like Jabril Peppers, seem to have resurrected their careers. One word: coaching.
Yeah, no doubt they are fans
that's right,
of Joe Judge and that staff
right.
so far there in New York. But I want to get back to Kyler Murray for a second. He said this week, shoulder's fine. But if you look at the numbers, 61 total rushing yards and 0 rushing touchdowns in the last 3 games. For a normal quarterback, that wouldn't be a big deal. For him, it is a big deal. What's going on with Kyler right now, Rex?
Yeah, I mean, it sure seems like there's that shoulder issues because we talk about it, they're not running him, as much. But I put a tape together, and it's the way people are attacking him, especially in the drop-back game. You want to pressure the middle. Teams are doing it differently, but what they're doing is attacking this middle of the protection and getting him, a shorter quarterback, to have to bail. So they're using stunts here. You're going to see it right here. And now I have to bail. And when they do, you got to build high on them, especially on the blind side of the quarterback, and that's what teams are doing. You're going to get another look here from New England. It's simulated pressure, but it's going to accomplish the same thing. Collapse the pocket and make this guy have to bail. When he does, there's no protection inside. Nobody could have got away from that one. And that's what teams are doing. So push that pocket against a shorter quarterback and make sure you know who you're facing. Be ready for him to bail on the outside. And that's how people are attacking Kyler Murray. I expect more of the same today.
Yeah, now it's really on Kyler Murray to improve that because the book is being written, just like you're saying. Pass rush plans, knowing what to do. Also, the aspect of having the controlled rush and getting ready to bat down balls. But you showed it on that film, too. Everyone knows when he goes to his left, he's going to spin and gain ground. That's how Holland's got that sack right now. And the New York Giant defense is ready for that. They've got some players that you've got to be introduced to, and I'm going to do it right here because they have playmakers on all levels. Let's go to Leonard Williams right here. Talk about resurrecting your career, Kimberly Martin. Like she said, watch him beat the double team right there.
Wow.
Pressure up the pocket. He has been motivated somehow by Patrick Graham, defensive coordinator, playing great football again. They got a great corner in James Bradbury. And I like this play because he works, he grinds, quick little screen, jumps the block, they create turnovers, he still forces the fumble right there. And one of my favorite linebackers to watch, he's going to be there. No matter what, he's going to be where the ball is. He'll take on blocks. Blake Martinez, he'll get off the blocks and make tackles. These type of players. Coaching matters, and when you have it in Joe Judge and Patrick Graham, that's what they do. They just make plays over the course of the year. Watch Martinez close. Whack! make the tackle right there. The Giants defense, fellas, they're balling. They're the big reason why they got a chance to win this division.
Yeah, they're balling, and it's contagious. That violence up front with the D-line.
You got one for me, too.
Don't forget about Jabril Peppers.
Let's go.
They're bringing it, okay? And it is contagious, that violent physical play on defense, that energy, and it starts with the D-line. And I promise you, it makes its way back to those safeties.
I knew I always liked you.
Quarterbacks recognize things like that.
That's right. That's right.
Let me go back to what Kimberly Martin was talking about earlier in her piece. Asking Kyler Murray, how is the shoulder? The shoulder's fine. Me sitting here watching the Arizona Cardinals, this air raid offense, each week you hear me talking about the Arizona Cardinals with DeAndre Hopkins backside, a 3-by-1 is dangerous. Well, as of lately, his route tree has changed. Could it be because the offense is getting flustered, or could it be that the quarterback may be a little injured? I think today you just put a great tape together, Brew. I'm looking at that corner Bradbury. He's tall, he's very athletic, he has size, he has arms, and he has speed. So the Arizona Cardinals, yes, they're getting a security blanket back because they've missed him as of late with the COVID concerns with Larry Fitzgerald. But I do see this game in New York. I'm glad they was able to give defense coordinator Patrick Graham some love, because you rarely hear players talk about, well, how did you get better? Hey, coaching got me better. So
I know I never heard that very often.
So shout outs to the New York Giants and everything that they're doing. But I do like the matchup between this cornerback Bradbury and DeAndre Hopkins because of his size. So look out for that matchup today.
Yeah, Hopkins has been held to under 60 yards receiving the last
route tree
3
has
games.
changed, Sam. His route tree has changed.
Larry back in there today. Hopefully that helps for the Cardinals so they can stop their skid. Crazy to say that the Giants right now looking very hopeful in terms of the playoffs at this point in the season. We'll get to more on that division later, but let's head down and talk about the Chiefs and the Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa getting ready for yet another start. Still hasn't thrown an interception. Can this Chiefs defense throw him off today? Still today, so we're going to find out a lot about this conference. But before we get to all that, the slate is stacked. And for that, we need to get to our insiders and say good morning to Adam Schefter and Chris Mortensen. Guys, what do we need to know before kickoff today?
Well, good morning, Sam. There is no rush to bring back Drew Brees for the New Orleans Saints, and there's no timetable as to when he might return, casting doubt as to whether or not Brees will be ready for next Sunday's showdown against the Kansas City Chiefs in New Orleans. That means that today, Taysom Hill will make his 4th consecutive start. The Saints are 3-0 with him playing quarterback. They're 8-0 without Brees dating back to last season, and they're hoping to build upon that today in Philadelphia, Mort.
Adam, the Giants are bringing back Daniel Jones, who missed 1 week last week, a win over the Seattle Seahawks on the road because of that hamstring injury. But on Friday, he practiced in full. Joe Judge gave him the thumbs up after the training staff gave him the thumbs up. But don't expect that 80-yard run where he gets a chance to trip up down the field. They'll be happy with the fact that he has some mobility in the arm to connect for the first place Giants against the Arizona Cardinals. They are 5-7 and on a 4-game win streak. And then in Philadelphia, everybody knows the story about Jalen Hurts. He's in New Orleans today. He's taking over for Carson Wentz. He was named the starter for this week, but sources say that the expectation is that he'll start beyond this week. And certainly Doug Peterson has a package for him. It's not unlike what you saw in college at Oklahoma or Alabama. You see a lot of the run options, short passes. He does like to throw downfield like he did last week against Jalen Reagor. He's a strong, fast, hard to take down physical runner. So Jalen Hurts for the Eagles today, Adam.
And more, for the time being, the Philadelphia Eagles intend to keep Carson Wentz, but they are on the clock. The Eagles must make a decision by the second day of the league year in March of 2021.